Welcome, everyone, to another session of the show. You are tuned in with myself, Mr. Scott Lylander, and we have a very special guest with us tonight. Someone who was at the New York International Audio Show. We have Shawn Mathews from New Life Audio Solutions. And Shawn is going to share with us today his experience at the New York International Audio Show, which just passed. It was October 24, 25, 26, 2025. So we get some firsthand experience about an exhibitor who was there having his own rooms for the first time. We're going to dig into what was that like, what worked, what didn't work, and let's talk about New Life Audio Solutions. Where are you from and what do you do? But as we move forward, I just want to, as an ambassador for the show, I want to do a big shout out to Total HiFi Experience. Thank you to the wonderful people that run the show, Emiko, and everyone there. We have got the Vegas show. You do not want to miss it. January 9, 10, and 11, 2026. The venue details are following, but I know it's going to be exceptional. I can't believe the show is coming back to Vegas, and woo, it's going to be great. We've got Mr. Shawn. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, Scott. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. First of all, why don't you, are you an audiophile? And tell us about yourself and tell us about New Life Audio Solutions.
Yeah, so yes, I am an audiophile. I love the two-channel hobby. And to let you know how it started off, so years ago when I was in college, one of my good friends introduced me to Infinity loudspeakers and Krell and all these different things, and I fell in love with it. And it grew into this passion, and from there I started digging into and turning it into high-end home theater, and that's how we started our company. We wanted we actually started in the home theater realm, high-end home theater, and we started branching out into whole home audio, outdoor audio, and then in 2022 we branched into the high-end audio world. And one of our first lines that we took on was Von Schweikert Audio. And so we dived very deep into the high-end world with that brand. And we were happy to have them, and they were happy to have us, and they invested in us as much as we invested in them. They saw the potential in us, and we appreciate them very much. So that's how we got started. And we have 2 locations in New York. I know it says 3, but on our website, but we are opening a brand new showroom in Queens, Jamaica, Queens. So it's a New York City showroom, and it's going to be a 1,200 square feet, open floor plan. We're going to have 6 systems, and even a headphone bar, and we're going to do it up real good. It's going to be a nice setup over there. And I just want to invite everyone that's in the tri-state area. You know, we're going to have a grand opening in February of next year, and whoever's interested, reach out to me at Shawn at New Life Audio, and we'll get you an invite.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shawn. And that's newlifeaudio.com. And if I was in the New York area, I would absolutely go there. As you mentioned, you might pick up on a few Canadian isms there. I'm in Calgary, Alberta, but a warm West Coast greeting to the East Coast. And as audiophiles, I love the audiophile community because there's so much in common and there's so much we can share and learn from each other. And a lot of the people are just amazing.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of the people in the industry, even manufacturers, I love speaking with them. They have so much information. I learn so much every day in this hobby.
And Damon, you're just talking about Von Schweikert, Damon Von Schweikert. What a great guy.
Yeah, super nice.
And
one of the nicest people.
Learning, one of the things I learned about Von Schweikert talking with Damon is that, some of their bass drivers that they use in their system are actually to control the room response. And I was just like,
Yeah.
what a novel use of, the woofer to do such a thing.
Yeah, yeah. So it's called their foundation technology. So they put foundation amps into their speakers, and it's an analog solution the to amplifiers and the powering the woofer section. So what they do is they get the whole signal from the amplifier, it goes into the speaker, and then it hits a step down transformer, and then it puts an attenuator on the back where they could turn up and down the woofers. And the reason they do it is so you can place the speaker where you want, where it images well, where it looks good in the room, and then you dial in the bass, because bass is always the biggest problem for a room.
Absolutely. And you're not going to saturate the imaging that you get in the positions with an unruly bass response. Hey, we have got another audio file in the house right there. We got Jim Bonds giving a big shout out to you there, Shawn. Jim, thanks for being here,
Hey,
watching on
Jim.
YouTube at Total HiFi Experience.
Yeah, Jim is a
All
good
right,
friend.
well, nice, nice, nice. Now that we know a little bit about yourself and about New Life Audio Solutions, why don't we jump into talking about the New York International Audio Show and tell us, have you this was your first time, so walk us through the experience and walk us through some of the highlights and things that you want to share about that show.
Yeah, I would love to. So the New York, this is the first time I'm ever exhibiting at the New York Audio Show. And yeah, thank you guys for relaunching it. It's amazing to have once again. And I'm so thankful that it was in Jersey because having it in the city even going there in the city back in the day was a pain. I couldn't imagine as an exhibitor unloading and parking and all these
I
different things.
talked about this exact same thing on the talk, and
Yeah.
all of 95 or 98% of the responses I get are like, thank goodness it was in Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah, so great job with that. And as a first time exhibitor at a show, it was definitely much more difficult than I thought, but it paid off. I mean, what a experience it was. We had 3 rooms. We thought this is our backyard, let's do it big. So we did 3 rooms. We did a ballroom A, which was a 25 by 50-foot room. And then we did 2 standard rooms, 126 and 127. In ballroom A, was our reference system. So we had Von Schweikert Ultra 7 and the VR30, which is they call the Mini 7.
Okay.
In there, we had a Lumen U2X streamer, which is their brand new streamer with a external power supply. That went to our Rockna DAC, the Wave Dream signature reference. And we actually debuted the Tara 30A tube preamplifier, first time in the United States. So that was a big spotlight over there.
Where
That
are
was
they
a big
from?
piece. They are from Poland.
Okay, super nice. And
Yeah.
I'm look, as having a tube preamp right here, I just know like the magic and the warmth and just the beauty of what that component a great executed component can do.
Yeah, yeah. And in the Ultra 7 system, we ran it with 4 Westminster REI amplifiers, 2 on each speaker. And on the VR30 system, we ran it with VAC 200 IQs monoblocks.
Okay.
So
Nice.
that was totally cabled with Masterbuilt audio.
Sweet.
In room 126 and 127, they were actually our new partners, PS Audio. We are the second dealer that they brought back on in the United States. So we are grateful for them for
Paul's got a great YouTube channel and he's always talking about things and
yeah,
it's
brilliant.
just giving advice and he's done such a great job. Before I got started into like the deep dive of audiophilia, I would watch Paul all the time and I would learn so
Mhm.
much.
Yeah, yeah, he's a brilliant guy, and one of the things I respect about him is he doesn't keep things secret. He willingly shares information, and that's not common in this industry. So I appreciate that. So we had PS Audio, the FR20s, and the FR5s, the little bookshelves.
Yep.
And in one of the rooms, in both of the rooms, it was actually completely powered and done. The components were done by PS Audio.
Okay.
But in one of the rooms, we did synergistic research, cabling and passive room treatments. So the
Nice.
Vibratron, the FEQ carbon, the power cells, and they did demos there, and it was a great response there. People
What
loved it.
what line of cabling did you have?
We did the foundations on the PSR, the FR20, and in that synergistic room, we did SRX.
Oh yeah, the good stuff.
Yeah.
It's there's no hiding it. I'm a big SR fan. I got SR gear in my system, and I'm blown away when I go between the red and the blue LF low frequency technology. I'm just like, yes, thank you.
Yeah, you hear it. I mean, it's a company that actually makes a difference.
Jim Bonds says kudos on working with PS Audio. That's stating a lot. They only have 2 dealerships and you're one of them. Yeah. So wonderful job, New Life Audio Solutions, on being a dealer with PS Audio.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling that out, Jim.
Yeah, so the reception of the show has been tremendous. I mean, I've had people call me, clients that got my information after the show and said, you guys, all 3 rooms are fantastic. And they wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 of those rooms got best in show.
Yeah, wonderful. And then just exposure wise, it's been it's been great for the business because there's in audio, there's always this side and that side, and some people will be like, we're not just seeing the value of the shows, but what I'm seeing here is that you loved it and there was great response and the value was there.
The value is there, especially when we were launching our new showroom. We were able to get the word out, and so many people were interested in coming to our grand opening. So we had a lot of good response.
Awesome. Big shout out to the workers there at the show.
Yes.
Sophie and Daryl, and we've got Daniel and Emiko. Just a big shout out to them putting this on. And they're actually post show on vacation right now. So when they're watching this on the replay, shout out to you guys and enjoy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
So how did the Van Schweikert room turn out?
Oh, it was fantastic. I had a vision in my head and I was planning it probably 2 months in advance. But it came out better than I expected. So we wanted to do 2 separate systems, but shared source components. Yep. So we did the source components. We went along the long wall.
Yep.
And we did source components in the middle and speakers to the left and right, flanking both of them. Okay. And it looked beautiful. If I was able to show
you had 2 pairs of speakers, like sort of side by side on the left and the right of the middle components.
Yep.
On the long wall, not on the short wall.
On the long wall, yeah.
Do you prefer the long wall, or is there or does it just change with every room?
It changes with every room. In this scenario, we wanted to showcase 2 systems, so it made sense to do it on the long wall. But every room is different.
I've been a long wall fan for several years. When I finally just bit the bullet and went along the long wall, because John Darko called it out, and then I did it, and I'm just like, what, the air and the transparency, and my favorite thing in an audio system is where the speakers disappear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And then you start to you build this image, and then you get depth and layering there. And as part of your services with New Life Audio Solutions, that's what you're offering to the clients. Now they can come to the New York International Audio Show and listen into your room, and you can sort of, they can, they can be like, wow, how did you create this? But then they might be like, they might really say that, they might say, Shawn, I want this in my room. Where do I start? If someone said that, where would you go from there?
Yeah, so for the first step is usually, hey, can I get, room dimensions? Can I get pictures of your rooms?
Yeah,
And that's the absolute first step, because
yeah,
they can say they want the Ultra 7, but if it doesn't fit in the room, it's not going to work. It's
yeah,
not appropriate for every room.
yeah,
So first thing is figuring out the room, seeing the dimensions, seeing what, if there are columns somewhere or anything messing with the sound. After that, I would make recommendations based on what I see, but I usually like to take a trip there to see it in person. Maybe bring a component or two or three so they can hear it in their system as is, um, and build the relationship and start there. Not everything has to be a sale right away.
So would
We
you,
want to.
oh, sorry, go
Sorry.
ahead. Please do go ahead, Shawn.
Yeah, I was saying not everything has to be a sale right away. We like to build a relationship and have a
Yeah,
long-term loyal customer that they can consider us friends that actually care about their system, not just making a sale.
absolutely, absolutely. My audio dealer here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Kurt. He's such a great guy, and it is when you develop that relationship. It's like, you just go over and, hey, I'm struggling with something here, or I'm thinking about this upgrade, and what do you think? It's such a, and just to go in and hang out with the shop and say, hey guys, I'm not I'm not buying anything right now, but I'm here because I'm hanging out, and I like to show, I like to be around audiophiles.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I used to go to um, dealers and just to listen to music, just to see what's out there, to learn. And most of them, they they did welcome me, but some of them had a little attitude that I wasn't there to buy. But not everyone's going to be welcoming. So we want to have that welcoming culture. We want to have that kind of feeling when you walk in. You don't have to buy anything. You can just hang out if you want to.
Yeah, and on New Life Solution, newlifeaudio.com, if you go to our brands, you guys have a ton of options there. You got like so many brands there that you could recommend a lot at various price points for various different listening styles.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we started off with Martin Logan was one of our first brands, and that gives a different flavor, right? It's an electrostatic speaker, so it's a different flavor. Some people like that sound, some people don't, but we
Yeah.
wanted to present that option. We have ELAC, which has speakers for every budget, so
Hmm.
that's nice to have in our catalog. And Cambridge Audio is another one. They have stuff for everyone's budget.
Yeah.
So we have some brands that Rel Acoustics. They have subs that are budget subs, and they have subs that are pretty expensive. So we wanted to have a vast array of brands in our catalog that could fit anyone's budget, no matter where they are.
Nice. What now do you ask people what their listening styles are? Like, does that influence how you would make a recommendation?
For sure, yeah. If they like rock music, Elex give a nice punch.
Yeah.
So I recommend Elex for people that are looking for, listening to rock music at not a crazy price range.
Yeah.
Elex is a excellent choice.
Absolutely. I had a set of BS 400s bookshelves back in the day, and I was blown away by Radiohead. Everything is right place. The way that came on, and just that the tweeter was just like, back in the day it was the Jet 3 tweeter, but it was just like, man, there's something magical about here. But we chatted backstage about, there sometimes people think that shows are a good place for listening because you only got one day to set it up and it's not as tailored as maybe going into your showroom. And, they're like, there can be a lot of, in the audio world, there's always conflicting points of view. There's always people who think this way and that way. But I disagree. I think shows are an amazing place for listening. If you hear a great room, you're like, wow, what's going on here? If you hear something that's not particularly your flavor, it's like maybe there was just something not going on here. But I heard Martin Logan's at a show, and I was blown away. I'm like, I love this sound. This sound is like for me.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty great what you can accomplish in one of those rooms. It's not perfect, but you know what? I learned that it's more about the person that sets up your room than it is about the components that you have in that room. What you can do in a room, given what you have,
Yeah,
that's skill. Like speaker setup is an actual skill,
yeah.
and I'm thankful that Paul from PS Audio came out to help set up our rooms.
Oh,
Damon von
wonderful.
Schweikert was there to help out set up our rooms.
Yeah.
So all our rooms sounded tremendous because these brilliant people came and helped us set it up. So it was awesome.
And when you buy from a dealer, that's what you get. You get their expertise and you get them helping you set it up. If you buy something used, you bring it home and now you're
Yeah.
searching the web and you're trying different things. You're like, I just can't get it to sound good, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong in this. In setting up an audio system.
Yeah, yeah. And room setup is so important.
Yeah.
It can make or break. You can buy the best reviewed, most expensive speaker you could see, and if you don't know how to set it up, if the room doesn't work,
Yeah.
it's a waste.
Now, one of the interesting things that I read on the About Us at newlifeaudio.com is that you do offer these, hey, let's figure out what you want in audio, but then sometimes you will, you'll recommend, well, we recommend this statement component, anchor your system, anchor what in your price range, anchor it on this statement component, and at a later time you can build on that. What have some of your statement components been?
Yeah, so statement components. My go-to is usually a really good preamp.
Yes.
I consider that like the that and the DAC are like the brains of the system. So if you can start with a really good DAC and a really good preamp,
Yeah.
and just build from there, I think that's a good starting point.
Because I think that I fully agree. Your front end is more important than your speakers, because when you get that refined front end, you put in like a reasonable set of speakers. You're like, it's going to showcase that front end. Where if you got this amazing set of speakers and you don't get the right front ends, then your speakers are showing you the weaknesses of the front end, and you're left like, what? I did that once. I spent way too much on the speakers because I heard them, and then I didn't have the front end to follow, and I was like, I was so disappointed.
Yeah, yeah. And that happens a lot, unfortunately. But again, if you speak to dealers that doesn't just want to sell you a piece, but wants to help you build your system, they won't lead you astray. You can trust people like that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, Well, hey, Shawn, we didn't leave anything out talking about the show, did we? What kind of, like, let's talk more about the show and any more experiences that you want to share, or what did you find? What was happening when the rooms closed? Was there extra stuff going on?
Yeah, so we actually had private demos on two of the nights. So that was nice. We had people reach out
Wonderful.
saying that they wanted to listen without any other distractions, and they
Yeah.
seemed like really interested buyers, potential clients. So that was nice being able to showcase those rooms while everyone was drinking at a bar or something. So
Yeah.
that was good. That was a good use of time. And then one of the nights we had there was a concert there, and that was pretty cool. Yeah,
Yep.
and the girl was playing piano and singing, and I was hoping she would call me up to sing with her, but that didn't happen.
We had, I believe we had Larry Mitchell there, and we
Yeah,
had Mike Leach as well on the guitar.
yeah, it was cool. It was a cool night.
That's
Yeah, I
great.
was not expecting that. That was a fun night.
I think the show has done a really good job being innovative like that, and just there are so many other things to do. Like when I go to a show, I love the after hours concerts, and several rooms have them. There's always you can do after hours demos.
Mhm.
Um, but then there's after hour concerts where you'll get a big room, and they'll just put on an album from start to end. The last concert I went to at an audio show, they played Pink Floyd The Wall from start to end, both LPs.
Wow, that's
It
cool.
was phenomenal. And then they're like, look, we know that there's a lot of hokey music played at audio shows, and sometimes you hear the same stuff, but this is a cool room, and we're going to play music that you actually like to listen to. How was your music experience there at the New York International Audio Show?
Yeah, it was great. We don't play the audiophile tracks that a lot of the rooms play. We try to stick with real music. So one of my favorite tracks is "Say Something" by Chris Stapleton and
Oh
just
yeah,
JT,
yeah.
and that's real music. I listen to that on my free time.
I do too. You know what? I always sit back and I'll put on something, and I'll be like, the critics would say that no one listens to this, and here I am on in my system playing the stuff that the critics would say nobody listens to, but we actually do. Yeah, no, it's Chris Stapleton. I had him on like on looping on Rune, and it was phenomenal,
His voice is insane. His
and
voice,
and the quality of recording too.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, so we try to play those music that music. I remember we had there was a father and daughter that came into our room, and she was a younger lady, and we knew that she must be a Taylor Swift fan. So we played some Taylor Swift from the new album. So she loved that. She was jumping around and dancing. She had a good time.
yeah.
So that's fun to see when people interact that way and people are loving the music and grooving to it. That's
Well,
nice.
I mean, seriously, if you go to newlifeaudio.com, one of the great things about there is it's about the focus right on the front. It's like, why do we love music? It's like the focus and the joy that it brings to us. We sing like
Exactly.
I love to sing in the shower. I'm not a professional singer, but I just love playing the music because it's just like the music is it, right? There's just such joy and a release of energy when you do that.
Yeah, yeah, that's the end game, right? So a little background about me that I didn't say before. So I do sing, not professionally, but I sing and play guitar for my church, and
Nice,
it's every Sunday we're doing live performances. So
great.
one of the things that I looked for when I was choosing the brands and everything for my showroom is what gives me the most realistic sound. What sounds like if I'm on stage and I'm singing, what gives me that kind of experience. So that's one of the things I try to choose with all the brands that I have, is trying to recreate that live sound. And we got close in that room, in that ballroom. That was
Oh,
pretty
I'm sure
phenomenal.
you did with the Von Schweikers set
Yeah.
up by Damon. I bet you it was really good. I had a buddy. I was like, I tell everyone I'm an audiophile, and then and it's like, yeah, I got a stereo, and his question was, well, what's your purpose in that? And I'm like, well, my purpose in setting up an audio system is that it's the facsimile of disbelief. It's when I'm putting on a recording and it's like I'm at where it's at, whether it's at a classical concert, which I've really been into recently, or whether it's at a live venue in a crowded pub, and it's not like hall like, or if it's a rock concert, or even studio produced music. You put it on and you're just like, wow, that's just it's so great.
Yeah. And
It's funny.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's funny when I got the two preamp in here, my reference component. I really do think a great preamp is a foundational component. I turned it on, Chris Stapleton, by the way, and I walked over into the kitchen, and my wife was stunned. Because she thought I was singing over here, and then she's like, "But Scotty doesn't sing that well," and she thought it was me singing here with the stereo. I'm just like, yes,
Yeah,
score,
that's
score,
amazing.
score.
That's the goal. That's the goal, and you got it. Congrats.
It is. It's been a lot of hard work and a big investment, but it's one of those lifestyle choices. I do not want to be without great music.
Yeah. And one of the things that they did at the show this year that I didn't even know was happening, but one of the rooms, they had a home theater, um, big room designed for home theater, and they were showing movies. There was a screen and everything, and
Yeah.
that blew me away. That was a great room.
Yeah, the film festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's another wonderful thing about Total Hi-Fi Experience. Just so much to do. The concert, the film festival, all of the audio rooms, and of course this was the very first one. So
yeah, and that got me thinking, because I told you my roots was in home theater. So I'm like, oh, maybe next year we'll get a room and just dedicate that to home theater. I would love to blow people away with that stuff.
right, absolutely. What if you're making a concoction, what electronics and what loudspeakers would you put in there
For home theater?
Yeah.
That's a good question. So I would definitely do the Martin Logan, I believe it's called Illusion Center Channel.
Okay.
That center channel is insane.
Okay.
For the left and rights, I'll probably match it. I'll probably do a Martin Logan electrostat.
Mm-hmm.
And then for surrounds, I would probably put some nice ELACs to give that nice bass energy, and then surround me with 4 rel subs and a rel on the center channel, and that would be a cool room.
Yeah. Sweet. Oh, look, I want to come now. I want to be there. Well, but anyways, if for everyone watching, just don't forget the next T.H.E show is the Vegas, January 9, 10, 11. So get your tickets at theshownow.com, and I'll be there. I can't wait to see you there. And any other any other comments on the show there, Mr. Shawn?
No, I think I spoke through everything. Yeah, thank you for allowing me to speak, and I appreciate you having me on.
This is great. I love doing this because you just get to meet with so many like-minded people, and share our stories, share experiences, share our journey together. That's why we do it.
Yeah. And Scott, you're more than invited to come to our grand opening. I hope to see you there.
Now remind me the dates of the grand opening.
So we're shooting for February 2026. We didn't pick out the actual date yet. It's going to be after Valentine's Day. It's not going to be on Valentine's Day weekend. So
yeah,
you don't have to worry about that.
All right. Well, I definitely appreciate the invite, and let's hey, just in honor of how great audio is. Let's just do a shout out.
Thank you.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Cheers, brother. Cheers. It's great. It's great to meet new audiophiles. It's just so easy. Shawn, I have a question to answer if you don't mind.
Sure.
We've got Jim. Jim Bonds wants to know what equipment do I have behind me. May I go ahead?
Of course.
Awesome. So, new to me this week is the SuperTech 6N-S7 Cabaret tube amplifier, and it is a delicious piece of gear. It's what made my spouse think that I was here singing instead of, two speakers. And along with that, we got the Past Labs XA25 Class A 25 watt per channel. We got an Exasound E62 DSD DAC that is made in Canada. I'm in Canada, and the loudspeakers are boutique by Black Ocean Audio in Des Moines, Washington, and they're something that I got to purchase post show. And I absolutely love them. Everything has just come together. We've got Synergistic Research Foundation XL cable loom, PowerCell 8SX FEQ carbon with the atmospheric tuning module, and a single JL Audio E112 sub. And I'm just so happy.
One thing I learned about Scott is he's a big vinyl guy. He has how many LPs do you have?
I have about 500. I have about 500 records. So that's about you take this amount times about two. I'm always like, I have this many records. And one thing that my favorite, I love collecting. I love collecting music. It's just the tangible thing. And it's also about that purchasing experience, right? It's like, oh, I'm not going to spend a lot of money on a preamp, so I could just buy a tube. But then it's just like, I'm just going to buy a record, and you're like, I bring it into my collection. I love to collect the Smashing Pumpkins records, and I have about this many of them. And it's the first thing I go to. I default go to in a record store. I look for that. Another great record there. Okay, another everyone needs to listen to Don Was and the Pan Detroit Ensemble, Groove in the Face of Adversity. This record there, this recording is stunning. And then Queens of the Stone Age, live from the Catacombs. It's delicious.
What is your favorite record?
I don't think that's a fair question because I love them all. Now, look, if I get some records in the house that don't sound good, and I know like they're just not recorded well, and I know I'm not going to listen to them again, I don't keep them because I don't want to just randomly go into my collection and feel like, oh, I'm going to take this out today and listen to it and end up having a dud.
Yeah.
But I love them. I mean, that's so hard. What's your favorite music genre or artist there, Shawn?
I'll tell you the album that got me, I guess, into hearing all the nuances and all the things about high-end audio is I assume you know Bobby McFerrin.
I don't.
He's the guy that did Don't Worry, Be Happy, that huge
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Yep. So he did that to make his money, right?
Right.
Afterward, he released an album called Beyond Words.
Beyond Words.
And it has crazy musicians. Chick Corea is on there.
Okay.
Omar Hakim is on there, drummer. And the musicians are, out of this world.
Yeah.
and it was that album where I heard all these. I thought, JBL, this and that's the best you can get. But then once I put that into my friend's Infinity speakers that he showed me years ago, and I heard all these things I've never heard before, I was like, wow.
It's like the veil was removed, which is such an audiophile cliche, but it's also so true.
Yeah, and that's what got me hooked.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, definitely keep it up. I hope that I hope that New Life Audio comes back to the New York International Audio Show 2026.
Yeah, we certainly will.
Thank you very much, and I'm extremely glad. I speak for the show when I say that, and I do that with great respect. Is that I'm so glad that you just shared, the value that you got out of it, the way, the things that you took, the way that you got to share with it with other audiophiles and connect with them. That's why we do it. That's why we've got the New York, we've got Austin, we've got the Vegas, and of course we've got the mothership, the Costa Mesa audio show. So I want everyone to be there. Come to the Vegas, I'll be there. Come to Costa Mesa, but go to theshownow.com. But of course, what would be your audiophile cliche sort of goodbye? I mean, enjoy the music, but what would you say, Shawn?
So our tagline is New Life Audio, good for the soul.
Good for the soul. And remind everyone, just once again, where they can go to find you.
Yeah, so newlifeaudio.com, and my email is shawn@newlifeaudio.com. And again, reach out to me if you want to be invited to the grand opening. I'll be sure to send you an invite.
Wonderful. And you can, I'm an ambassador for the show. You can find me on Instagram at Audio Acoustic Engineering. That's my audiophile page. And I'm just so happy to be here. So good for the soul. Thank you so much, Shawn, for being here. And thank you for everyone for hanging out with us for this 45 minutes on a Thursday evening.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Cheers.